Good evening, people. Don't ask me. Week 2, here we are. Listen, we've got an absolute mega show for you guys. Trust me, we've already got people waiting in the wings already, so I'm not going to talk too much. Apple, first of all, how are you doing, brother? Good?
I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. How's your week been? How's your week?
It's been busy to say the least, man. Obviously been involved in a lot of grassroots football, as always. But yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got 2 games that did a lot of talking, to say the least, and a lot of football, not to say the least, as well. And then obviously got a challenge that's been thrown my way. So again, we can talk about that as well. So, you know what? Without further ado, let's get straight into it. We're going to bring in Gaffer Amjad and Mark from FC Baresi. How you doing, gents? You good?
Not too bad. How are you?
Yeah.
He's all right.
Not too bad. Thank you for asking as well. Now, for the people that are watching who are not Baresi fans or DTFC fans, these 2 teams played over the weekend. The match didn't run the full 90 minutes, which it obviously usually does in a football game, due to, 2 incidents that were quite eyebrow-raising to say the least. On Saturday, we talked about it briefly on the Kobe show, but again, we didn't have yourselves on there, Mark and Amjad, so it's now your opportunity to kind of talk about it. So, yeah, who wants to go first out of you 2?
Amjad, can I open up?
Yeah, firstly, lads, apologies.
No worries.
I haven't met you guys, so it's a pleasure to meet you guys both. Obviously, I've heard a lot about both clubs. It's a first for me. So listen, I've heard a few things, and I'm sure we all want to kind of get our words in. So if you want to start, and just kind of if we can try to keep the jumping into a bare minimum, so just to give everybody a fair chance to sort of get their little bit out, because I know there's quite a lot of things that happened. It sounded quite tasty, and you're going to hear my opinions on it all in a sec. So if you want to go, Amjad.
I think Mark said he wants to go first.
Amjad, you can start if you want.
Hey, respect to the elders first.
There you go.
Firstly, I'd like to say that the game was hyped up a lot. Yeah, 2 good teams who can play football. Maybe.
Like one was getting slapped.
A lot of things happen, and FC Bazi have been getting tarnished, and there's 2 sides of the stories. We've got our facts, we've got our findings, which we are presenting to the FA. After the FA hearing, everybody will know who was to blame for what happened on the day, how it started, why it started. Mark?
I think just talking football to start off with, as Amjad's quite rightly said, it was a hyped up game, and I was actually quite surprised in the first sort of 5, 10, 15 minutes. I felt that it was quite a nice natured game, and to be fair, it probably was for the duration of the first half, and I guess in a sense it all started from the incident initially that I was involved in. But before I speak about that in detail, I think DT's mentioned that they had, I think it was 19 shots. And I felt in the first 10 to 15 minutes, it was quite a balanced game. They were probably in our half for a majority of the time.
What was the score in the first 15?
So first 15 minutes, it was 1-0 to us. 1-0 to us. I was actually quite surprised as well, because I thought BT would try to play football, but it was quite evident that they're a long sort of ball playing team, and quite often they'd switch the ball to the wingers. I had the right winger running at me quite often.
So what you're saying, Mark? So what you're saying is, if I came to watch that game, I would have needed to bring a net brace. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I think for the first sort of 10 to 15, 20 minutes, we defended reasonably well, and we passed the ball out, and there were a few moments where we sort of broke on the counter attack, and we had a couple of opportunities to score. We had the goal that we obviously scored from, and there were a couple of moments. I think it was Zach received the ball in the final third, very similar situation to the goal, actually. But as a result, I think the defender tackled him. And yeah, from there, I would say that DT were quite dominant in terms of areas of the pitch. But in terms of clear-cut chances, I don't think there was that much of a division between the two teams. One thing I would say is their first goal is definitely handball. Like that's factual. It's handball.
I'm going to jump in real quick, Marky. Listen, I apologise. I have to jump in. This is what we're not going to do, is break down the goals and say should it have been allowed? Because all we're interested on here, but on this show, are facts. Okay, we focus on the facts. And I want to know from you, end of the first half, what was the score?
End of the first half was 3-1 to DT.
Okay, so you guys had your trousers pulled down by half time. Okay, cool. So from there onwards, explain it. Tell me, picture what happened after half time.
After half time?
Yeah, after half time. What's going on?
So are we neglecting all of the incidents before half time?
Yeah, let's neglect all of that, because at half time, everything should be clean slate after that.
Okay, so second half starts. We are down to 9 men. 2 of their players received yellow cards. One completely baffled me because we've got video footage of one player raising his hands twice. We've also got a video of the goalkeeper also hitting someone in the face. But it is what it is. They got 2 yellow cards. So it was 11 versus 9. To be honest, it was probably the best that we played. For the first 10, 15 minutes, bodies behind the ball. We broke when we had the chance to do so. We had a few corners. We had 1 or 2 free kicks. We had one good chance when there was a cross put in from the right-hand side across the 18 yards. No one really read or anticipated the movement of the ball. But they also had a few chances. They went 4-1 up. But I think it's difficult for me to report on because I was watching the game. Yeah. But there was a moment that I heard DT being very aggressive, using an abundance of swearing.
Well, look, I think it's fair to say, any manager that's on the touchline, I can speak from my own experiences. I think all of us, we get passionate. We sometimes get caught up in the moment, and sometimes we can say things, whether they're right or not is kind of by the by. But I just want to what I want to say is, just going off of what you've told me and kind of some of the things that I've seen. Massive credit to you guys, by the way. Massive credit to you guys, because when you lose 2 players, realistically, the floodgates should open, and that didn't happen to you lot. That didn't happen to you at all. And to me, a mark of the mark of a good team is resilience. Whether you're battling or whether you're playing ball, whatever it is, resilience and togetherness. And I just think personally, if you lost 2 players and you managed to keep the scoreline down the way that you did, you guys are getting behind the ball really, really well and kind of pressing them and not really making them look like there were 2 players up. I would have to say that's kind of where you guys should have stayed. Now, obviously, the game started to go a little bit left. And
yeah, absolutely.
At that moment, when it starts to go a little bit left, you're on that touchline. What's going through your mind when you can see certain things that's going on?
I mean, as I say, in that moment, the second half, I didn't actually see too much. I mean, I was watching the game, and I'll just talk you through it. So obviously, I've heard DT swearing, and as you quite rightly said, it happens quite a lot in football, especially grassroots. I've turned.
The pro touchline is just as bad. It's just we don't get to hear it most of the time because of the crowd. But trust me, the air is blue on that touchline. Trust me.
Yeah, I can imagine. So after hearing DT, I've turned around, as have many people. There were about 100 to 200 people at the game. Our centre-back is also exchanging words with him. He's being held back. DT's being held back by his assistant manager or assistant coach, whatever we want to call him. And to be honest, I didn't know what had happened. DT said that he'd been punched in the face. I can't say whether that happened or not. I didn't see it. Genuinely didn't see it.
Mark,
but at that point,
I project at this point because I did see it. In fact, I got footage of it, and I did see your guy, whoever he was, the centre back, punched DT. Like,
yeah, okay.
I was there on the sidelines, halfway mark, because I would say friends with both teams. I know both teams quite well, or relatively well, especially over this last period of time. DT, after the whole look, I saw the whole Louis van Gaal moment, which we can talk about in a second. He fell over, wound some people up. You got sent. Was it you got sent off, and the other guy sent off?
I got sent off. Yeah.
Yeah, which we can get back into in a second, because I know we're going back in time, but we can get back into that. But then I saw DT actually speak to, or try and attempt to speak to your guy on the sideline. Now, obviously, a guy's heated. He's been sent off, and he's thinking that he's been done dirty, basically, and all the rest of it. Now, DT off the olive branch, whether you like it or not, he did, because I heard it, I've seen it, and your guy punched him. Like, yeah. I've seen it. And I'm not trying to get no brownie points or anything like that, but I'm just stating facts. That's how I see it. And I explain it to your cameraman. I explain it to whoever. Like, I seen it. Left hook, boom. Didn't rock him. Didn't floor him. Just punched him. And for me, that's inexcusable. Like, regardless of what you might think of DT, regardless of what you might think of the team, regardless if you think of what his actions or all the rest of it, like, you can't lay, like, imagine someone laid hands on Amjad. Imagine someone laid hands on Amjad. You'd be furious. You would.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's, I think not to justify it. I'm not justifying it. It's always to say I've not seen it. But when, I mean, we're going to get onto this anyway. But when DT runs onto the pitch and behaves the way that he does, and he gets our player sent off. And let's be honest, he's won, in that moment, he's won DT the game. Yes, DT were winning 3-1. There's no denying that. But second half, I think we were going to start turning the screw. First half, we were poor. We were very poor. We couldn't hold on to the ball. I think DT were more athletic. I think they were faster. I think they were fitter. And that's not been helped by lockdown. Also, I'm getting on for 30, so I'm getting a little bit older now. So I've started slowing down, but I genuinely do believe second half, the game would have started to change, especially as we were playing against the wind first half. The wind was quite a significant factor, I think, especially with them playing the ball 30, 40 yards, hitting wide areas.
Well, what I'll say on that is tactically, I mean, I don't know who does your coaching, and I'm not the tactical critique, but if you know that you're playing with the wind against you, surely you would try to drop a little deeper, occupy spaces a little bit more effectively, try to anticipate that they're going to overhit those balls. But all of that stuff is by the by. What really concerns me, and this is me speaking as a father, and look, I don't know DT from anywhere, you must understand, and just like I don't know you, I think you're a stand-up guy. I've met you so far, I think you speak really well. There's no reason for me not to believe a word of what you're saying. But as a father, and I know DT's a father, it's look, we have to go home to our kids, you know, and no matter what happens with the passion on that football pitch, we have to understand that there's repercussions to some of the things that we do and some of the things that we say as men. And when you pick your hands up, and look, I don't know, how old is DT? 38, 37, 38?
I wouldn't know, to be honest, but.
So, you know, maybe he's older, I don't know, but pick your hands up to a grown man, and he is clearly an older man. That to me tells me that the guy that's done it, that not only does he not have any respect.
I think Apple's cut out there. While Apple comes back in, I've just seen Urson, so shout out to Urson. Obviously, you know very well, your cameraman. He said, can we speak about Mark sending off, please, and the fight before half time? So I know, Mark, you're smiling there. We actually come back in time. So I actually have got the incident of Mark getting sent off. Can
I just say one thing? You know, you said that you saw him get punched. Yeah. Nothing, he didn't go down or anything. But our player didn't even headbutt him, and he's gone down like a sack of potato.
But
Amjad, we'll get to that. Don't worry, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. We'll run Mark's sending off. Now, I don't know if you managed to see that, but so, you see that, Apple?
I said that looked tasty.
Yeah, very tasty indeed. Mark, you actually did kick out, you know.
No, and I've not. And the thing is, at no point have I gone against that. I've held my hands up. I kicked out. The thing is, the thing is, I was probably the calmest, despite that incident. I was probably the calmest, most chilled player on the pitch.
Now, if you look at
the rest of the footage,
for someone who got sent off, there was no effing and blinding, there was no swinging and all the rest of it. You was calm as anything. You was actually speaking to DTFC afterwards, like when you got sent off.
DT spoke to me and asked me what had happened, and I think the guys pressed me very, very well, but he's discharged. He completely ran through me, hit me to the ground. That's fine. It's football. It happens. It's coming together. I got up, hit me again from behind. I'm clearly standing between the ball and him, and again he's knocked me to the floor. I've got stud marks on my back. I've got scratches on my back. I've got bruises on the back of my hamstring, the back of my leg, the hamstring. I've got stud marks there as well. Not to suggest that he should have been sent off, but there was a moment there where he sort of stood up, jumped, and landed on the back of my leg. Now, some people might argue that's a red card.
No, it does look like that. To be fair, the footage shows quite clearly. He was a bit overzealous. He stood over you. There was feet being raised. And if I'm completely honest with you, Mark, look, man to man, you and I both know these things, they happen on a football pitch. But we have pride. We have egos. This is why we play the game. And no matter how well controlled we are, with our own actions, at times we have to stick up for ourselves. And if I'm honest, I probably wouldn't have sent you off. I would have to look at that as 6 of one, half a dozen in the other. What I actually feel, I feel that at that moment, because a few things might have happened, the referee was kind of leaning towards one way. And you kind of made it easy for him, if that makes sense. I think you made it easy for him. And I actually feel really bad for you, because I don't think you deserve to get sent off in that moment. I think it's a free kick to you. I think the other lad, I probably wouldn't have sent him off, but I would have given him a yellow and a real harsh talking to and a final warning. But I would say to send you off in that moment looked absolutely nuts to me. It looks absolutely nuts to me. I would never. But I'm not going to talk about referees because I've done that before. And I'm done with that. But I genuinely I feel bad for you, and that you got every reason to feel hard done by in that particular moment.
Yeah, and I don't think it was helped by the delay in the decision being given as well. For the first one, he should have blown his whistle, and I think it was sort of nearing the third challenge that he then decided to blow his whistle. But by that stage, that player had already jumped on my back. I mean, I've not been challenged like that. Yeah.
Now, after that moment, obviously the camera cut after that, but after that moment, DT then comes onto the pitch. Now, I've seen, listen, don't worry, guys. I've seen everything in the comment section. So don't worry, I'm not going to skip over this bit. I am trying to be unbiased. I'm not a DT fan, by the way, Jordan say, I keep seeing your comments, bro. I can keep that if you want. It's all right. Yeah, DT, no, but I'm just saying, it. Like, I'm trying to be unbiased here.
Don't get rattled by the comments, Rootz. Come on, man. Don't get rattled by
No, listen. If I wanted to be a DT fan, I wouldn't have Baresi on, full stop. Let's face it. If I wanted to be like that, I wouldn't have had them on. But I said, come on, say your piece, like, after that. Cool. DT runs onto the pitch. Now, whether DT should be on the pitch is one thing or the other. Do you know what I'm saying? Because with me, I heard DT's side of the story. I've heard your side of the story. DT says he runs on because he sees one of your guys runs on. You guys obviously saying, a man should be running on the pitch. Now, from there, obviously, that's where the second incident happens where the guy headbutts him. Now, was it a massive headbutt? No, it wasn't. I said it to DT. It wasn't a massive headbutt. Does he lean his head on him? He does. And you know why I say that? Because I caught it again. I caught the footage. I'm not going to show it because, again, it's up with the hands of the FA and all the rest of it. So I'm not going to air it here for someone to then crop it and then send it over, whatever. But again, I seen it. Does DT make a meal of it? Yes, he does. So again, Baresi guys, it is like that. So I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say about that ring. Again, there's similar incidents in the Premier League where, you know what I mean, that's been done and the players got sent off. I don't know what else to go with that, really. What do you reckon?
Can I just challenge, because I watched DT's stream, I think it was on Sunday, and I found it really interesting that he mentioned that he ran on the pitch because an FC Baresi player ran onto the pitch to break up a fight or a coming together between players. Now, I've looked at footage today. I looked at it yesterday. I looked at it on the weekend. And in that particular video, DT runs onto the pitch. He stands with his DT players. There's no FC Baresi players. Amjad, you're in the background on the touchline, as you should be, with your arms crossed, just watching on. There's many fans. DT then walks over to our centre-back, and our centre-back is also being held from behind by the goalkeeper. I don't know why, but that's happening in the footage. And then DT moves his head to the left towards our defender. And that's in the footage. That's factual. That's in the footage. DT moves his head to the left. Hadi, our defender, also moves his head towards DT. DT then jumps backwards. Also, when that happens, the goalkeeper that's holding our centre-back raises his hand, hits him on the cheek. That's in the footage that I've watched today. I watched it yesterday. I watched it on the weekend.
Mark, do you know what I'd say to that, mate? Honestly, listen, to me, it sounds like a bit of good old-fashioned shithousery there from DT, and I would do exactly the same. I probably wouldn't be standing on the full pitch, but if I was presented with an opportunity to go rattle someone, I 100% would take it every single time. And unfortunately for you lot, you were stupid enough to bite when he put the bait in front of you. And now, unfortunately, you know, we're kind of in this situation where there's a whole heap of drama, and it kind of leads to my next question. How many incidents like this have you guys had this year?
Can I just say as well before that question? It's quite interesting.
I need that question to be answered. Listen,
no, I will answer that as well quite happily.
This is the don't actually show. You have to answer the question that's being asked. That's what I need. I need that information.
Go on. Sorry.
Go on. This year, how many incidents have you guys had where it's kind of kicked off and there's been moments of violence and craziness?
This is our second incident this year.
Second this year. Yeah. Do you feel like now? By the way, this is a leading question. I'm not going to be one of those guys. I'm not going to try and trap you in. But
not this season, this year, I'm talking about.
Yeah. So do you feel like as if maybe this is just a question? Maybe the people now. And this is just kind of obviously you guys are a very resilient team. Clearly, the fact that you went down to 9 and you guys competed so well tells me that you guys are clearly resilient. You've got a lot of guys there that are there willing to work hard and work hard for their shirt. Do you think that maybe some teams might see that as a bit of a weakness and try to target you and try to rattle you in that respect because they know you're going to be passionate and maybe stand your ground?
Can I just say one thing first? In that first incident earlier in the year, the player that got attacked by Petrocub now actually plays for DT. He was attacked by the Lions referee's flag, and he had a black eye. He was here.
Well, what I want to know is what I'm asking is do you feel that perhaps do you reckon some clubs could see your passion and your resilience as something that they could maybe try to attack because they know that you guys are you're gonna react in a masculine, testosterone-filled way? Do you think that maybe some teams might see that as a way to try to beat you, and you know, rather than play the game, can we get the game abandoned by sort of dangling the carrot in front of them because we know they're going to bite?
Well, I like to think not, because we're a footballing team. We want to play football. We're not out there to, you know, have these scuffles and fights. We want to play football. Teams should come and try to play football, and don't bring, you know, show business into it because they got so many followers and things like that. Let's play football. Let's see who's good at football. Let's try to win games by just playing football. Clearly, Saturday football didn't win. And it should have won.
Well,
Sure, but I didn't.
I think. Look. I've been in football more than 20
And I
years.
and I believe both teams were guilty. Both teams. I'm not saying just us or DT. Both teams had their bit in there. That shouldn't have happened.
Well, look,
Absolutely
I've been in football more than 20 years, and I think it's fair to say that football doesn't always win. You know, and also the better footballing team doesn't always win football matches. It's just kind of the way that it goes. But the one thing that I kind of want to try to, I don't want to hone in on it too much because I think there's obviously a lot that's going to go on around it. But I have to ask a question: when someone sucker punches DT now, or look, DT's not the biggest of men. He's not the biggest of men in the world. He might have a big mouth, but he's not the biggest of men. And you know, you give him a wallop, a sucker punch. Don't even rock him, by the way. So your lad, terrible left hook he's got on him. But if you actually wallop DT, what is going on there? What is going on? Just for me, I'm going to ask the question. You know, he's a father of children. I'm sure a lot of the guys there have got kids. Everyone's got jobs, and you know they need to go back home again and go to work. At what point do we say enough is enough? Because for a player to do that, can he now put on another Bay T-shirt again? Can he walk on that football pitch again and represent your football club?
Listen, can I just say one thing? I know the kid since he was 15 years old. He's never reacted like that. I've spoke to him since Saturday a few times, and he's explained to me what was actually said when DT went on the pitch.
Okay, so if we're going to talk about things that are said, would you ever say that there's ever words?
What I'm trying to say.
Hold on, just one second. Just one. No. Respect me. This is our space. So what I'm saying is, do you? Because it sounds to me like as if you're excusing it. It sounds to me like you're saying that words were said and that justifies sucker punching, a middle-aged man in the face, just because you've known him since he was 15.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Sounds like what you're saying.
No, I'm saying he's been provoked, but I'm saying what he's done, I don't condemn it. I think he's wrong. If he's done it, I didn't see it because I was looking at the game at the time.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth goal had just been, I was just getting ready to concentrate what we're going to do now for the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever was left at the time.
Yeah.
If I find that he's done it, he will be dealt with within the club.
So
FA will deal with him.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to say, even at professional level, players have done this. They've been provoked and they've took action. I'll give you a couple of examples. Eric Cantona done it to a Crystal Palace fan.
Eric Cantona was racially abused.
He reacted because something was said.
Eric Cantona was racially abused. Was your player racially abused when he struck DT? And even if he was, does it make it okay to punch him, sucker punch him?
There was things said there, obviously.
No. Okay, what I'm not going to allow you to do,
and I'll give you the second example.
What I'm not going to allow you to do is say that sentence and not clarify the question.
Like I said to you before, I don't condemn what he's done. It's wrong if he's done it. If he's done it because
your player racially abused, yes or no? I want that to be clear.
My player, no.
Okay, and the reason why I say that is because when I asked a question, you said something was said and it's suggestive. I don't want there to be any shadow of a doubt that lingers over DT's head, because I can verify, and I do not know this guy. I don't know him from anywhere, but I know him enough, and he's a close enough friend of a friend of mine for me to know that he is not a racist. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear. But when I asked, was he racist?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're trying to say here.
So I think it was a bit leading. So
what I'm saying, what I was saying was a professional player, protector player. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about whether DT. I never said at any time that DT is racist. Yeah, I don't think he is. I don't think he's off the camera.
Good.
He speaks to you really nice. I don't know what happens to him in front of the camera, which is how he is, what he is. That's the way he is, probably. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the guy. Yeah, let's be honest about that. I've only met him a couple of times before, and that was because I was a linesman at his games, right? And that's the second time I actually stood there and spoke to him before the game and after the game.
Are you happy to tell us what was said to your player? What did your player tell you was said?
Because we sent our report to the London FA.
Okay.
And once he's dealt with it, then we'll talk about it. And the other incident, just one thing. The other incident I was going to say was Zinedine Zidane in a World Cup final. He got abused as well, and he got sent off. So professional players have done it, but for him not to play, this kid not to play football again, you're taking him off the street. And now I'm trying to work here, get kids off the street, and give him something on. He's done something. I've never seen him do anything like that before.
Would you say that the comment that was made was, in your opinion, without telling us what that comment was, would you say that comment was severe enough to provoke somebody to that extent, to that extreme?
To be honest with me, if somebody said something like that to me, I wouldn't react to it, because I think by me reacting, I'm showing my weakness to them. I would
It's easy
ignore
to say that, though, when you're not.
and I would laugh in their face.
Yeah, Mark, you're right. You're
Because
absolutely
I would
right.
laugh in their face,
Right,
and that would make them even more angry.
Yeah.
That's me. But everybody's different. So for him to react like that, and I've known him for 15 years, yeah, he's been playing for me since he was a 15-year-old kid. And he's 30 years old now. And for him to act like that, you know, but I wouldn't let him. He's going to be dealt with it for what he did within the club, by the FA. But to not let him play football again, punish him, yes, for what he did, but give him to put that right.
Sorry, just quickly, because you said obviously you've known him since he was 15. He's now 30 years old. But before that, you said about keeping him off the streets. At 30 years old, surely he knows how to make better decisions than to go throwing his hands around on the side of a football pitch.
What I'm saying, we kept him off the streets for 15 years.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to say.
Listen, and I'm here for that. And I'm definitely here for that, by the way. Look, all I need to do is, all I'm trying to do is just ask a question so I can get a clearer picture of what's going on. And obviously, everybody else that are big fans of Beatties, which there are a lot of people that are big fans.
Baresi.
Baresi, not Beatties. Sorry, Baresi. But the guys that are big fans of Baresi and guys that are big fans of DTFC. Listen, you have to understand, a lot of the people that watch these shows are 16 to 18 years old, 14 to 18 years old. They're all obsessed with the social media element of what we're doing with amateur football. And I do think it's a big thing. I think it's a great thing that we're all doing, all of us that are involved in it. Look, sometimes these things, they happen. And what I want to say to you guys is that, you know, keep fighting the fight. Don't let these things get to you and bring you down, but also don't let it cause a long-term problem, because ultimately we're all here to play football. And as long as the football does the talking, eventually for some of us, that's all that should really matter.
Mark, you got anything to say?
I was going to say something in response to when Apps mentioned, when you mentioned
don't Apps me. You ain't known me 10 years. Don't Apps me. You ain't known me 10
no,
years.
I just wanted to respond to one of your questions, but I never had the opportunity to do so.
My bad. Go on, Mikey. Go on.
I was when you were talking about us as a team not being able to deal with DT's, let's say, charisma on the weekend. I just also wanted to point out that he started to talk about our reputation, and he started to talk about Petro Cup. And as Amjad's quite rightly said, one of our players was attacked by someone that was holding a linesman flag. They've recently had a great fine. They've recently also been banned for a number of games. Their punishment was much more severe than ours. But I also wanted to highlight the fact that I know in most of DT's games this year that they've played against pretty much 10 players in most of their games. And I appreciate in games of football that we talk to and from, and there's that element of gamesmanship. But gamesmanship, in my opinion, is kicking the ball away, wasting some time, pulling a t-shirt, standing in front of the ball so someone can't take a free kick. DT on the weekend has rushed onto the pitch in a situation that he never needed to. He's then jumped on the floor. Yes, our player lent in. Yes, DT lent in. He's jumped on the floor. He's got our centre-back sent off. And that has spoilt the game. It's spoilt the game. And it's a shame, because I was looking forward to a good game of football between the two teams, both at the top of the league, everything to play for. And it was ruined by that element, in a sense, because when I did what I did, as I say, afterwards, I was cool, I was calm, I was collected. That situation had finished. then it started to spiral out of control because other people started to introduce themselves and just cause havoc here, there, and everywhere, which was nothing to do with what I had done. Because I exchanged a few words with that player afterwards that jumped on my leg. That was it. It was squashed. I picked up the ball, put it on the floor, went to take the free kick. I got a red card, so that free kick didn't happen. But we also know, I'm sure you know, you're on social media, you've looked at YouTube. DT a year ago, what was he doing in the Blood Brothers Cup final? Has anyone seen that?
Yeah,
we see that. We see that.
We've all seen that.
We all seen that. Trust me, Mark.
He's toxic.
We're talking about this game, obviously. I mean, we could all pull out stuff from the past that we've all done wrong and all the rest of it. But yeah, we're talking about this game. And look, out of all the decisions, yours, Mark, was probably like the one that's at the bottom in terms of like wrongdoing. Like, should it have been a red card? Probably not. He kicked out, yes, but at the same time, it wasn't. I'm going to choose my words here, because again, when you kick out, it is seen as malicious, but it wasn't like life-threatening. Do you know what I'm saying? To say that. So again, obviously you'll be back. You probably serve what, a 1 match ban, 2 match ban?
No, I think it'll be more, Amjad, won't it, for violent conduct?
3 match ban. Has he got
3?
Oh, your one hasn't come through yet.
Okay. But the one, obviously, the main talking point is obviously the punches as well. Like, from what you were saying, Amjad, that he's not going to play. Like, I don't. What's that all about?
Well, no, I said DT said he shouldn't be playing football again.
Oh, I see.
In your thing on Saturday night when he was live with you.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, as long as obviously, you've known him obviously a lot longer than we have, Amjad. So again, as long as obviously you speak to him, and obviously he'll see it and he knows what he's done. Just if you can speak to him and obviously say that he can't conduct himself, because as well as he's bringing you guys down in terms of a club. Like, you don't want to be known as the rowdy bunch. You want to be known as a ball-playing side. You know what I'm saying? When I first came across FC Baresi, the first thing that caught me onto you guys is obviously that free kick. I think it's even a free kick that you scored, Mark, against AFTV.
It was my claim to fame.
There you go. So again, it shows that you guys can play ball, because if that's my first impression of you guys, scoring a worldly free kick against AFT, shout out Broads as well. You're in the comment section, so you've seen it firsthand. Then obviously it shows that you guys can play ball. So that's the last thing that you want to have as your reputation of being a team that always goes to 10 men or gets sent off and all the rest of it. So look,
I think the important thing for me was it was not to blame DT, and it's not to take the blame. But as I say, I watched the stream on the weekend, and I also noticed that Urshan joined you for that stream, and I don't think Urshan was well informed on some of the things and the footage that I've seen. Yeah. So it's for that reason that I wanted to speak to you, just to share our side. I kicked out. There's an incident that's happened in the second half. I've not seen it. You said that our centre-back has punched DT. Not disputing that. That's happened. You've said it. You saw it. But there are a number of incidents in between that have not been mentioned that I can see in video footage. They've happened. I've seen them. I've got them on my phone. I can see them.
I actually asked Urson for him. For whatever reason, obviously, probably because it's gone to the FA that he couldn't provide him. Otherwise, it would have been good to have it here.
No, and I completely get that. And to be fair, we were talking in the WhatsApp group today and yesterday, and we were contemplating whether to share it or not. But we thought, there's no point sharing that information or sharing that content, because we need to give it to those people that are going to issue the right sanctions. And as I say, we don't want it to become a to in and from in on Twitter or Facebook or whatever it is. Because as Amjad has quite rightly said, we want to play football games. We want to play football games, competitive football games, good football games. But we're not. Yeah, we've started using YouTube, we've started using Instagram, but we're not. We're predominantly here to play football. We're not bothered about the social media side of things like other clubs are. But I can see why they are, because of the success they've had as a result, and fair play to them. But yeah, I mean, that's, yeah.
I just want to hand you the spoon. Just before we go, I have to hand you the spoon. Got to give it to you. You made a little comment, and I'm a little bit intrigued by it. And you said how many games this year that DTFC have won against 10 men? Oh, I mean, are we questioning the legitimacy of their dominance on the throne right now?
And the reason I say that is because you asked the question about whether our players not being able to cope with DT's gamesmanship, but there's clearly a trend. There's clearly a trend, and I've seen some of the highlights from the DT games, and I've seen players been rightly sent off. But it would be lovely to see how it's led to that. Not to say that that's justified. But these players are behaving in certain ways because emotions are getting to them. Why are those emotions getting to them? I don't know. But I just find it really interesting.
Do you think DT is their 12th man?
13th, 14th, 15th, absolutely, yeah.
There it is.
Sorry, you broke up there. What was that? Sorry, let's say it again.
12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, absolutely.
There it is.
Well, that sums it up. Look, the good thing is, out of all of this, that you guys got to play them again. So, again, you got another... potentially twice if the game does get replayed. So, yeah, that could be very, very interesting to say the least. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Fingers crossed.
Go for one thing before we go. Afterwards, we were talking to DT in the car park, and I said to him, listen, you shouldn't have gone on the field of play without the permission of the referee, because that's what the laws of the game say. And he agreed with me. He said, I shouldn't have. He goes, I've done it all the time with YouTube, in the Blood Brothers League and all that. He goes, I'm all the time there because I've got to learn not to do that. I said, if you want to go a higher level, you can't do that because you'll get punished every time.
Well, that's why he needs a stand, Amjad, so he's secure and he can't possibly get onto the pitch.
Well, you saw me. I didn't even move. I just stood on the sideline. Let the referee sort out the things. What he's seen, what he's done. That's
Mark,
what the referees are there.
Mark, would you be willing to if we could get DT to come on now, would you be willing to bury the hatchet, do a virtual handshake?
I spoke to DT on the day. There's just no issues. I'm just more concerned that from watching the live stream on the weekend, it was Baresi did wrong, and there was no recognition of what was done at their end. So I had to come on today to try and defend the team because, as I say, the video footage that I've seen suggests that there should have been a few red cards sent in their direction.
Okay. I'll tell you what, Mr. DT is actually in the comment section. So I'll tell you what, Apple, you hold the fort. I'm going to come out and give him the invite and then I'll come back in. So you guys carry on talking and I'll be out. Just 2 seconds. Continue on your conversation. Continue.
Right. So, Marky.
Yeah.
This is what interests me, right? Because look, I'm a football man. At what point in the game did you feel that it was starting to slip away from you guys? Well, I say football-wise, at what point did you feel it was starting to disappear?
It was honestly, it was a strange game. It was very intense. There was a lot to and from it. As I say, I think the game to begin with was good-natured, and it was after the few challenges on me, and then I've reacted and got sent off. So I guess once we had been sent off, that's when the game turned. Although DT were winning at that time, I honestly still believe we were in the game. But yeah, I think for me that moment where I got sent off and then
we've done it before, being in that situation. We've been down to 10 men. You know, we've come back and won the games. You know, we still had all the second half. We still had all the second half, 45 minutes to go. Anything else, as Brian Clough said, it only takes a second to score.
Absolutely, and that's right on the money.
Even with 9 players, we had that chance. If that goes in, this becomes 3-2. This is before they scored the 4th goal.
Ah, okay. So the plot thickens.
Because after the 4th goal, the play didn't start again.
Yeah. Now, if the game had continued, then I doubt highly we would have won the game, and perhaps the floodgates would have opened. But up until that point, the boys defended brilliantly. They were behind the ball, 2 banks of 4. And when we had the opportunity to break, we did. And perhaps DT took their foot off the gas. I mean, I wouldn't expect them to, because I imagine in that particular game, they'd probably want to score 5, 10, 15, 20 just to get one up on us. But yeah, they seemed to take their foot off the gas, and we were still in the game relatively. But then that 4th goal goes in, and then we go from there.
Well, the interesting thing is that obviously because I said the whole second half to play, I guess you could argue and say, what if they were to lose a couple players themselves? And I guess maybe then the game really would have evened out, and potentially we would have seen a blockbuster finish.
Yeah, and I think because our home ground, our pitch is quite large. So I think if we were to have lost 2 players on each team, there becomes a lot more space to exploit. So I think that would have been interesting. Yeah, definitely.
Right, I'm going to just jump in there. So I've actually got DT waiting in the wings. So we're going to try and make this brief, because I do have the next set of guests waiting in the wings as well. So here we have DT. DT, obviously, you've been listening into the whole chat. You've probably been seeing the comments in the comment section as well. This is the first time that you've all kind of been on the chat together, both managers, Mark as well. DT, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, firstly, my face looks perfectly fine for somebody that had a free shot and couldn't do anything. Now, also, let's go right back. And I'm going to try and brief through this bit by piece, right? In terms of the football, the camera don't lie. I actually thought that you were a football inside, but I've now nicknamed you FC Baresi Rugby Club, because all you did was play long ball. Now, us as a footballing team, we played on a very poor pitch, yet we pulled you to pieces. We tore you apart. You're very lucky it was 3-1 coming up to half time. Now, there was no malicious intent, shall we say, from you with your kick. The fact of the matter is that you kicked out.
Absolutely.
You reacted. You said to me yourself, you was very respectful in the way you spoke to me. Cool. You got sent off. Now, the reason why your defender, Anthony Joshua, got sent off was not actually for the headbutt. If you want to go back and look at the footage, it was when he ran about 50, 60 yards on the pitch, made the incident 10 times worse, and he grabbed my number 15 round the throat and knocked the referee backwards. That was from the original incident, and that is why he was actually sent off. Why he did that, I have no idea, but he just decided he wanted to get involved. If he never got involved, you probably would have only got a yellow card or maybe a real stern talking to. I don't know what it would have been. I still feel you probably would have got sent off, because the linesman had also said to the referee that she had seen the kick out. So by the letter of the law, it's a red card. I also deny what you are saying, that I walked towards him. We have the actual footage. He walked towards me. The referee came up to me and thanked me for coming onto the pitch. The Baresi official was the one that was the referee in the Blood Brothers tournament. We have the footage of him standing side by side with me, and he was actually pulling your player Stanley away when I was holding my player Jermaine. So again, there was a Baresi official on the pitch. Now, if you go on the Baresi website, he's actually listed as your coach. So if he's not, then I wonder why. Now, the incident itself, he put his head into me. He knocked me over. The reason why it knocked me over is because it was to the side. It knocked me over because it was to the side of the temple. It startled me and it made me fall over. I'm sorry.
DT, stop that. Stop that.
Hey, listen.
Can I intervene?
Wait. I ain't finished yet. So then we go. Wait, so then we go into the next piece, right? We go into the next bit, right? Now, this whole what I said or anything else, I never said a word to the guy, not a thing. He called me a dickhead and walked over to me and approached me. It's all on camera. We can all see it. The incident where he punched me was a good, I would say, nearly 45 minutes or so after he was sent off. So you can't even use the whole he was heated or it was a reaction or anything like that. Also, now this is a very, very key point. We have camera footage of your number 4 standing down by the corner flag throughout the whole of the second half. On the moment of us scoring the 4th goal of the game, he decided to walk behind all of you, stand behind me and my technical area, and make it known that he was there. He then turned round, spoke to me. He was standing next to one of your centre-backs that came off injured, who incidentally, 2 days before the game was sending Snapchat voice notes to somebody I know saying DTFC are getting smoked on Saturday. And I said to him, the only thing you're smoking is weed because you won't be able to get near us. And I was correct in that sense. Now, what actually happened is that he turned around and he wanted to know why I had dived. I said to him, I haven't dived. I then turned around and said, listen, life is too short for any of this, yeah? Shake my hand, man. Leave it at that. Shake my hand. Now, I've got evidence of this. Rootz was there. He's heard all of this, seen all of this, everything. The 2 players from Baresi that were standing next to him didn't believe that anything that happened was going to happen. I approached him to shake his hand. I was like, there's not a problem. What we have on camera is as clear as day. Him saying to me, why did you come on the pitch and dive? I put my hand out like this in, a manner of like peace and to say like, and before I could even say a word, bang, sucker punch. I then turned around and called him a pussy. And I said that you couldn't even knock me out. And I said, and for about a good 30 to 60 seconds or so, I'd lost it. And I wanted to get to him. And I said, and I've told the FA this, I have full justification for doing what I did. What then ensued after that was him becoming Rocky Balboa and thinking that he could fight absolutely everybody. And there's one real big key thing you've missed out here. And I think everyone's going to be shocked at this one. We've got video footage of the same boy, number 4, walking around the crowd when it was all gathering and everything's going on, trying to sneak in through a gap to me. What did he do? He punched one of my players' dads. Yeah.
Now, it's interesting you... Go on,
it's interesting I say it because I've got it on camera. Clear as day.
I've not seen it.
HD, 4K, zoom in, you name it. There's no, I can even read your badge on his tracksuit. It's that clear. It's unreal. How dare he, first of all, punch me, the manager of my team, and then punch one of my players' dads? Really? Over an incident that happened well over nearly an hour ago. And because he quite simply couldn't handle the fact that he got sent off. He's a 30-year-old man. He's not a little kid. He's not 15, 16, 17. He's got, a troubled youth life and all this kind of stuff going on and whatever. He's a big grown man. Now, the evidence is there. The FA have got it. He can deal with his punishment like a man. And what he can do is never step foot on a football pitch again. Because if you can't control your emotions or your temper and punch somebody when they're offering their hand to shake, I'm sorry, no, you don't deserve to be on a football pitch.
DT,
can I just ask a question, DT?
One second,
Of course you can.
Sorry.
Whoa, Mark, I've got to ask this question because people are asking in the comment section, why did you mock Mark's profession? I've got to ask that. Just add some clarity.
I didn't know that was a case.
Yeah, one of my wingers was taking him on, and I said, "Beat the PE teacher."
He's 10 years younger. Give me a chance.
I know, but listen, that is part and parcel of football. It's banter.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? There was nothing rude about it. There was nothing, wrong with it. My goalkeeper's a teacher. So at the end of the day, all it was my little winger was going past you, and I was like, "Yeah, beat the PE teacher." And
you've been watching my beat the teacher challenges. You've been watching my beat the teacher challenges.
I've been listen, during lockdown, I've been watching your like videos like Joe Wicks, man. I've been getting that chest on, man. Do you know what I mean? It's like woo. So it's like, listen, at the end of the day, all that kind of stuff is banter. There's nothing rude about it or anything. Whatever it might, it's just banter. Part of football. I would happily shake your hands. I spoke to your manager after. I spoke to him before the game. What happens for 90 minutes during the game ends once the full-time whistle blows. Done. Finished. Shake hands. If bars were allowed to be open, you go in there and you'd have a beer or whatever it might be together. Because that's what football's all about. But that went way past the line of that. Way past the line. And our conscience is clear. We've got all the video evidence that proves that we did nothing wrong. And as far as I'm concerned, you lot are just clutching at straws. And, just get used to the, just get used to your ban, because you've got lockdown to contend with first, and then you've got a ban to deal with. So you probably ain't going to play again until February, March. So,
Just a couple of things. You said it was fifth. So it was our number 4 that's moved your number 15, but in our footage, it's your number 7 that's accidentally stamps on the ref as he raises his hand on 2 occasions.
No. He was.
Have you got that?
No. When your number 4 come over and grab my number 15 round the neck, he's knocked my number 7 into the referee, and he actually stamped on his foot, and the referee was jumping around like one of them cartoon characters, like it had that big throbbing toe. The footage is there. I've seen it. It's clear as day.
What about when your goalkeeper sort of slaps number 4 around the face?
There ain't no sort of slap. Again, we've got the video footage, and what he does is your goalkeeper comes across to go into one of your players, and he walks directly across his line and puts his hand out to stop like this, and that's it. We've got it in clear.
Let's just jump in.
I've got one more. Apps. I've got one more because I've got to shout out Jordan as well, because Jordan was saying he rattled me. Nah, mate, you're not rattling me, Jordan. Jordan says, asked when DT said suck your mum. I'm guessing it's when you got punched, DT. So
do you know Jordan, what? I honestly can't remember. But if I did, then I did, and if I didn't, then I will happily say it again. Suck your mum, because you punched me in the face. Sucker punch. As far as I'm concerned, the guy's a bitch. I'm sorry, but I've got no time for anybody that wants to bring that onto a football pitch. It's bang out of order. It's still annoying me now. It really annoys me because it goes past the line. It goes past any kind of like morals that you can just try and sucker punch someone like that. That's not football. That's not football. It's not. And then let's talk about what he was doing outside once the full-time whistle had gone. He was waiting outside our changing room and trying to like start fights with anybody that would come out, including one of our coaches. The guy's got a screw loose. He's a 30-year-old man. He's carrying on like a 15, 16-year-old kid that's got no parents to bring him up, and he's got to go on the street life to try and survive. He's a 30-year-old man that drives a Mercedes.
Do you know what I mean? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yes. So not to suggest that it was okay for what happened to happen. Mm-hmm. But do you think by running on the pitch and doing what you did was acceptable, and did that initiate what happened afterwards?
No, it didn't initiate anything, because his grievance was with number 15 for whatever reason. I don't even know why he went over and grabbed him round the neck when all 15 was doing was standing there and making sure that there's nothing when your original incident happened. And the referee thanked me for coming onto the pitch. He said his exact words to me were, I don't normally condone people coming onto the pitch like managers and stuff. He goes, but thank you for coming on and controlling your players. And at that point is when I went to move away from the ref, and he's come walking straight towards me. And let's also remember,
you walked towards him in the footage.
What are you on about? I've got the footage. It's there in black and white. The referee standing this side of me. I'm next to him. He's walking directly towards me. And then he goes off the pitch. And then when he comes back, this is the best bit. When he comes back and the referee sends him off, you've also missed this bit out. When the referee sends him off, he comes round.
Some videos have been edited.
Look, we're done.
There's no editing.
Look, gentlemen, look, I think it's fair to say that there was a massive incident that's gone on.
Look at Amjad. He's just sitting there with a grin on his face.
He's fallen asleep.
He's composed.
My question is, here's my question. Obviously, DT, you've been listening. Mark respectfully made one or two comments, and he said that some of your success this season can be attributed to the fact that you guys have a 13th, 14th, or 15th man on the side of the pitch getting people sent off. What do you make of that?
It's not my fault I'm a good manager. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. We've played 8 league games and we've scored 45 league goals. We've only conceded 4 all season. So at the end of the day,
that's recognised.
My boys do their talking on the pitch. Now, when we played Petra Cup, they had a player sent off for kicking one of mine. It's all there. They admitted it. They held their hands up. You've had your issues with Petra Cup yourself. Chigwell, he had a player sent off for going through the back of one of my players, 2-footed, and all he could do was walk off the pitch saying that we're a YouTube team, yet they were getting battered by a YouTube team. I can't help if players get sent off against my team. All of the sendings off against us this season have been for violent conduct on players. No incidents involving me, all on my players. Now, ironically, a lot of these incidents happen when the teams are 5 or 6 or 7-0 down, because they're getting played off the park. They're getting battered. And they get to a point where they're like, we're getting embarrassed. We can't even. And you know what it's like? It's pride. If you're getting humiliated and toyed with, then you start to go, nah, I'm not having none of this no more. I'm going to start kicking lumps. At half time, when we went in half time and you were down to 9 men, I made it very simple to the team. I said, they're probably going to try and kick lumps out of us a bit more, maybe try and get the game abandoned. I said, so let's just play the football around, play left to right, pull them apart if we need to. But most importantly, let's just finish this game. Let's take the 3 points and let's go home. The job's done. And we literally just toyed about. It was Ole football, constant. And we were just like... In your
own half.
Come and get it.
In your own half.
Come and get it.
We had 9 players, DT. We had 9 players. 2 bags of form and a goalkeeper.
Come and get it. It's obviously rattled you because you couldn't come and get the ball. We don't need to do anything. And also, we look at the situation as well. There was about 100 odd people, up to 100, 150 odd people on the touchline. There was probably 50, 60 of them there for yourselves and everything. Tempers were already frayed and it was a bit edgy. You'd had 2 players sent off. And I looked at it and thought, you know what? We can go this one or 2 ways. We just get through the next 45, go home and job done. Or we can go and knock double figures past you, which we've done to teams this season. But we were like, no, let's just get out of there.
DT, what do you make of Marky's comments, basically calling you guys neck brace FC?
Mate, the footage is there. We're the best passing and the best footballing team in the league by an absolute mile. We were playing 1-2 touch triangle football on a swamp. All right. And they were literally, all they were doing was one long ball constantly. And the only reason why you caught us out, is because last week in our league game, we had 2 injuries. And on the Saturday, we had to reshuffle things. I had to put a centre midfielder in at centre back. I had to put a right back in at left back. And my right back was only a new signing since lockdown. So 3 of my back 4 were playing together for the first time ever. And in the first 10 minutes, because we thought you were a passing team, you just went, boom, long ball. And we got caught out by one of them. And we sat there and went, whoa, hold on a minute. But because the boys have got a bit of knowledge up here and a bit of know-how, they took 5 yards back. We set up differently and we went, right, now let's just play. And then we pinpointed your guy in centre midfield, the one with the dreads. Because what we do is we watch you. You play out from the goalkeeper. And what you normally do is you play out from your goalkeeper, you play to your centre back, and then you play to him. And then he's the little link between everyone. And we got one player to sit on him and said, right, now we stopped your supply line. What are you going to do? And you didn't have no answer except Stoke City. That is tactical. That is understanding of the game. And we played you perfectly. And the best team won.
Marky, please.
One more question. Actually, from Amas, one of your players. So he says, ask DT if he thinks any one of his players should have got red cards.
That is a good question.
It's a great question. And the answer is no. Because,
DT.
Mate, listen, let me explain something. The referee saw everything, and he deemed 2 of my players' actions as cautionable offences. They were given yellow cards. My number 8 for the tackle on you, yellow card. My number 7, because of the incident in the middle where he was trying to get involved and stop what was going on. The referee, the 2 officials who were official, assistant referees as well, saw everything, and they deemed that their actions were just yellow cards. They saw your 2 incidents and deemed them red cards. Now, remember, as the home team, you pay for the officials, not me, so you can't even use that one.
I never blamed the officials.
No,
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. One of your players is, because he's been inboxing me on Twitter saying the referee made 2 errors and changed the course of the game.
Well, in terms of the cards, I think he's missed a trick with not sending any of your players off. And the first goal, I think you would agree, was handball.
It wasn't handball. It wasn't handball. Again, we've got it. Let me explain that to you. This is a very clear lesson, right? As you're a teacher, you will know about lessons. So I'm going to give you one right now. Okay. You see here from the sleeve. Yeah. Now, there to there is no longer handball. The rule used to be.
I thought he hit him on his elbow. This area
here. From here all the way down used to be handball. The new rule is the sleeve. Now, if you watch the incident, my player went like this with the top of his shoulder in his chest area here, and the referee immediately signaled to where the ball hit. He was 5 yards away, directly unobscured view in front of it. And immediately the referee had his arm out and was pointing to everybody where it hit.
Pointed it out to you.
Brilliant referee. Superb. And what a goal that was. Split you apart within 2 passes. Amazing, isn't it? You said we were a long ball team.
We lost possession, didn't we? We lost possession.
And this is the thing. Hey, we had 72% possession in the game, and that was in the first half.
Yeah, we were poor. We were poor.
Do you know what I mean? So it's amazing. But the other thing, and this is a tactical thing as well, we watched your corners beforehand and knew that you guys didn't have a Scooby about corners. So we literally turned around on Wednesday in training and we changed our whole entire tactics of corners, and we loaded up 6 men on the edge of the box, and we got 1 as a blocker, 2 as runners, and 3 were going to attack. And you lot were looking on the edge of the box like, what the hell are they all doing? You thought we were just going to stand in the box and hope to head the ball in. It was all tactical. What did we do? 2 of our 4 goals were from corners.
One of which was not a corner as well, by the way.
Oh my dear.
No, seriously.
Get out of here.
Last question from the people listening, or kind of a statement more than a question. Tyler saying games should be played behind closed doors and no cameras. Ask that. Kind of words.
No chance. No chance. That game has to be on camera.
Yeah,
that has to be on camera.
Listen, at the end of the day, the next game is going to be at our place. I cannot wait to get you on Harlow's pitch. You better spend the next few months getting your fitness up while you're suspended, because that's our big pitch, boy. And believe me, it's a long 90 minutes on there. So
we'll do what we can. We'll do what we can.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that one. It's going to be epic. And let's just try and complete the 90 minutes this time.
Stay in your stand, though. Stay in your stand, and we'll be
I've got a technical area.
Stay in your technical area. We'll be fine.
I've got a technical area. You gave me a set of cones on Saturday.
We'll give you a little seatbelt. We can fasten you in. We'll be good.
I don't need to worry about that. The only time I run off is when we're scoring goals.
I'm on that bombshell.
Yeah, on that bombshell, we'll call it a day there. We've massively run over. We've got the next guys who are patiently waiting in the wings. FC Baresi, DT, thank you for this. I'll tell you what, we should do this again sometime when we actually have footage to watch over.
It's been therapeutic. It's been therapeutic, man.
We can tell. We can tell.
But you know what?
I think we need the footage. I think we need the footage to prove the points. That would be useful going forwards, definitely.
Yeah, it'd be lovely. Do you want the 4 goals as well?
They might not count yet. We might have to have a replay. So at this moment in time, there's probably no point.
Hey, keep on praying for that replay. You got more chance of Boris being competent in office.
Can I just say? Last year we played Petro Cup. yeah, and they were winning. I forget the score. Amjad, you might be able to remind me, but there were 5 minutes left. The game got abandoned, and we had to replay the game. 4-1.
4 minutes to go.
4-1, 4 minutes to go. Game got abandoned. The game is replayed. So I can't see why this time around it'd be any different.
So it's not the first time you've been losing and got a game abandoned and hope for.
No, we never.
You know that their linesman ran onto the pitch and started hitting our players with a
I don't know. I have no idea. Listen,
we've literally just had the appeal.
We were a YouTube team then. We were only formed a year ago. So do you know what I mean? But at the last point I'll make as well very quickly is that the difference between that game and this game is that in the game against Petrocub, there were no league officials there. On Saturday, there were 3 league officials that witnessed everything. Good night.
Well, you had one official there that put a report in our favour, the one who saw everything.
You'll see.
I think DT's paid him, Amjad. I think DT's paid him.
The league did not have the officials for this game. I heard that you got these officials, the 2 linesmen.
Hey, they're proper league officials that were cleared. What are you trying to say?
Also,
hey, I've seen you run a line. Don't talk about officials.
Also, no, you haven't, because you couldn't even remember me when I spoke to you before the game.
Right,
why should I remember you?
Come on.
James, you had a nice conversation after the game on Saturday.
You've had an hour.
You couldn't remember me. I thought you were lying.
See you at Harlow.
Right. We can't wait. We can't wait. Honestly, we can't wait.
We'll do this again sometime. Thank you all for joining us. We'll do this again for sure. And keep on watching the show. Peace.
Peace.
Ay. Right.
Rootz.
Oh dear. Oh, so
I feel like in a minute.
I know, bro. Hey, listen, that was first part of the show. Again, apologies, guys, for running over. That's not the show done. That's the first part of the show. We've actually got more in store. We'll bring in Shorty and we'll bring in Axe as well. Welcome, guys. Again, apologies for overrunning massively. Yeah, that's all more I can say really on that.
That was emotional. That was emotional.
I hope you guys had front row seats to that, obviously.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
can't wait to watch their game, to be fair. Can't wait to see the 4 if they do show the footage. I'm looking forward to seeing that, that's for sure.
Yeah, so am I, really. There's footage that I've seen, there's footage that I haven't seen. But yeah, let's skip that part and let's get on to you guys. Yeah. So now, let's paint the picture. So obviously I've had you guys on before, on the run-up to your game. And yeah, you know, Axe, you were saying a lot. I remember something along the lines of smoke.
He was talking a lot. He was confident, wasn't he? He was confident.
He was confident, to say the least. He said a lot about smoke. And then, yeah, the game was played. And what happened, guys? You talk me through it.
Go on, Axe. Go on, bruv. You can talk.
No, very good game of football. I think, you know, we lost 4-2. For us, it was a game of missed chances. And I think the key difference was JK took the chances that were given to them. And in 90 minutes of football, if you don't take your chances, you ain't going to win games. And well deserved. You know, I can't take it away from them. They took the chances. They won the game. It's played in great spirits. It was really, really enjoyable. But as we know, to win titles, to win games, 101's got to be taken. They've got to be tucked away. And unfortunately, we just weren't clinical enough in front of goal.
Listen, I'm sorry, guys. Listen, first off, I'm Apple. Nice to meet you both. I've been updated on everything that's been going on. But the first thing I'm going to do is I have to call you out, sir, with the glasses. I'm disgusted with your fake humble approach. Don't you dare come here with your fake humble. We're not buying it. I'm not eating what you're trying to feed me. You're talking smoke before, and you got your trousers pulled down, and you got a good spanking. So now I need you to listen. Don't come here.
Hey, it felt good giving that spanking as well. It felt good.
Hey, come on, let us know what was going on. How are you feeling now after delivering that little bit of BDSM?
Well, look, let me take the glasses off for this one, yeah?
There he is. I'm right with him.
You done? Oh, cool. Yeah. So look, at the end of the day, being a manager of a club, you got to say certain things to get a reaction out of your players. And a big part of management is sometimes you got to put your players on some heat. Okay. I think I find with a lot of the youngsters that I've got, how can I put it? Their talent has got them to where they're at right now, which is top of the table. Okay. But it takes a lot more than talent. It requires hard work. Okay. And a lot of the boys usually respond much better to a bit of heat. So, the social media presence that we had was for me to give them that little bit of heat. And we lost 4-2. And at the end of the game, probably the first time in 3 years of management of these kids, I saw them absolutely devastated.
Can I just say something?
Absolutely devastated, because you know what?
I need
It seriously backfired on them.
You made a rookie mistake. You made a clear-cut rookie mistake. You done the same thing that average man's done. You gave the opposition team talk for them.
Yes.
You beat them up, and you gave your boys an arse whooping, not them.
Yeah.
So if anyone needs to look in the mirror and take the ownership for that spanking, it is none other than you, sir.
Well, before we get on any more, I think it's time we show some footage. So let's show some goals, shall we? Here we go.
Fucking get in there! Yes! Fucking get in there! Superb! Superb! Come on, Silvertown! Come on! Let's go again! Let's go again!
Sorry for the language. Sorry for the language.
Oh, it's called passion. It's called passion. Don't ever apologize for passion.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, listen,
Don't worry about it. This ain't Sky Sports, baby. This is Rootz TV. You can say what you want, bro. Don't worry.
My first observation is that you used the word kids a lot in that monologue of yours, that fake humble monologue that you just used. And I gotta tell you, mate, I looked on that pitch and I don't see many kids on that pitch, mate. What are you telling me?
Well, let's be honest, my friend. You ain't known me that long, you don't know my squad.
Listen, I don't need to know you to see.
I'm just putting it out. Just putting it out there. You know what I mean? You don't know me.
What was the youngest player?
That's all I'm saying.
What was the youngest player on the pitch?
18 years old.
That's not kid. Sorry, not when it comes to football.
And when I'm talking young players, some of the boys that we brought through haven't played 11-a-side football with organised sports before. Okay, and when I say young, I'm talking maturity as well, because I think a lot of people get mistaken. When we say young, we mean purely on age. Okay, maturity is a big thing when it comes to 11-a-side football, and there's a lot of 25-year-olds that are immature. And the previous video has shown a 30-year-old can be immature. So I've got a young squad in a sense where they're still maturing. These boys are still maturing.
Listen, do you know what you just said there is right on the money, but you're not going to try to spin bullshit onto me, mate.
No, there's no spinning. There's no spinning. At the end of the day, okay, I've come out and Shorty's known me for a number of years. If we win games, we win games. I shake the manager's hand. If we lose games, I'm very, very obvious and blunt about us losing games.
I respect that 100%.
There's zero sour grapes. It is what it is. There's no sour grapes at all. And if there was, you probably would have seen me here today. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
I'm just being me. I have to be a horrible bastard sometimes. And look, you know what it's like when someone likes to talk. You have to kind of understand that sort of process. But here's my question: I don't know your league table. Are you guys still top of the league though?
Yeah, but to be fair, we played quite a few extra games compared to a lot of the other boys, but we're still top of the table. Yeah.
If you're still top of the league, the L doesn't even matter. The L don't even matter. So good luck to you.
Oh, L's always matter.
You can fake humble. L's matter to me. I just assume they didn't matter to you. That's all.
Look. Listen. It wasn't all doom and gloom for Axe. He did say it was 4-2, so I've got to be fair and show at least one goal from Walthamstow Red Star. So here we go. Let's show this. I love the music for dramatic effect as well. I love that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
thank my social guy for that.
Good cross, very good cross.
oh, sure. You trying to say he didn't mean it?
I don't think he meant it, but
That's poor. That's poor. Listen,
he didn't mean that.
That's a good goal. That's a good goal. Regardless. Good football build.
That was a good goal, but I don't think he meant that. Personally. But it's a good goal. I like to score a goal like that, but I don't think he meant it.
Yeah. Sure, man. At least give him his props where it's due.
No, he's a good player. I said to him after the game, he's a very good player. He caused us some problems and that. He's a very good player, but I don't think he meant that. It was a good goal though. I don't think he meant to put it where he went. That's my opinion.
Mad.
Cracking goal though. Cracking goal.
You know your player better than all of us. Did he mean to do that?
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, to be fair, and this is a guy who I was harping on about R9. He's O'Neill Rowe. I've seen him bang goals left, right, centre. He's probably remembering from when he scored the shimmy goal in the video that's had about close to 100,000 hits. But yeah, look, he meant that. He's a quality player. Same guy, O'Neill Rowe.
Oh,
O'Neill Rowe. You got to remember the name.
How many goals you scored in the league?
Abs, you know
the top goal scorer, mate. Yep.
Pardon?
He ain't top goal scorer. I ain't scored more than our striker, and we played less games than you.
Yeah, but
Sunday League, Harry Kane. I said it. Chris Wright will be top goal scorer in that senior division. I say it here now.
Yeah, but sure, you got to remember something. The season's not finished.
No,
the season's not finished.
We've only played 3 league games, haven't we? So
yeah.
What good is it being the top scorer if you ain't winning the league? I'm just asking. If you're not top of the league, what good is it being top scorer?
We'll win the league. We'll win the league. That's what I'm saying. I'm confident.
Big chat. That's big chat. That's very big chat.
I can sit and say we lose to any team. I know that we can beat anyone. So
you know what? After our performance on Sunday, a big game like that, JK deserved to win the league. So I think I think they might win the league this year. They're a very, very good side. They're a good side. There's no reason why they shouldn't win the league.
That's interesting because that wasn't the same energy you had before, Axe.
That's what we do to people. That's what we do to people. We knock them down a peg or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened there. Yeah, he really see knocked down a peg or two.
You know what? I would honestly,
it's all good.
I'll be really happy for you lot to win the league. Yeah. I really would be happy for you lot to win the league.
Yeah,
you won a Sunday, and it'll be brilliant for you to go on and win the next 12 games.
Yeah.
I think, you know what? This is a bit of reverse psychology, I think.
He's put the pressure on us now, isn't he?
I see what you're doing, Axe. I see you.
I didn't listen. I didn't put that pressure on you. You're the one that's coming out saying you're going to go on and win the league title. And I'm saying, I want you to win the league title. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
And you know what as well? Because obviously it's going to be another fixture, a reverse fixture. So I'll be interested to see.
No, we've beat them twice already. We've beat them twice.
Oh, it's done.
They've only lost 2 league games. We've beat them. They've only lost 2 league games. That's against us.
Oh, so you're done already?
Yeah, there's a chance we could beat them in the quarterfinal of a cup, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I look forward to that one.
Okay. Yeah. But surely, look, do you really want to fall into the same trap of, this big bravado saying you're going to win something? And then I have to bring up this stream like a couple months down the line, and then you'll be like, yo, what was he saying before?
I have faith in my players, innit? So we're seeing it. We'll see.
Okay. Interesting.
Sure.
Apple, man, eat it, man. Come on, bro. Jesus Christ.
Man's making me hungry.
Look, you know what? Look, I'll tell you how it is. At the end of the day, we were confident going into the game, okay? And they took their chances and we didn't. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you guys about boosting about how many chances we missed and whatever. At the end of the day, the scoreline was 4-2 because they took their chances. It's as simple as that. You know, I hate sour grapes. I've seen enough videos on YouTube about sour grapes. Oh, we lost because of the ref. We lost because of this. We lost because of that. No, we lost because JK Silvertown were the better team on the day. They took their chances and we didn't. It's as simple as that. And it's a harsh lesson for my boys, but it's a lesson that they need to learn. That if you do want to win titles, you got to take your simple chances. If you don't take your simple chances, you won't go out and win titles. It's as simple as that. There's a lot of talk before the game, but when you step out, like we said, you got to go out, step out there on the pitch, and you got to perform. And if you don't perform, yeah, you're going to get this from me now. It's as simple as that.
Wow, Axe, you're making this chat a lot easier than we actually envisioned, because we thought he was going to come back and say, oh, the referee was on their side or he was cheating. Nah, he's now.
Look, I'll tell you what. Look, at the end of the day, we're not here to blow smoke up anyone's asses. Okay, we're here to tell it how it is. We were confident going into the game. Okay, they beat us 4-2. We come off the game. We've done an awesome interview with Shorty as well. Congratulated their boys, and we move on. At the end of the game, we took an L. Okay, but we still need to go out and win our remaining games to try and win the title. But you know what? If JK go out there and win the title, I'll be really happy for them. Good luck to them, because it's not easy running a Sunday League team. It's not easy getting money off players. Shorty's the best guy for that. But at the end of the day, if they go out and win it, props to them. You know, props to them. I mean, you know, we tried our best, okay, and we fell short. And lessons have to be learned. And you can't be nice about it.
You actually think you're out of the title race now? Then is that what you're basically saying? Is that what you're saying?
I think if we carry on performing like we did on Sunday, of course, telling you how it is. You know, we got a couple of games left, but you know, I'll probably pick you guys as favourites.
You only lost one game. Your guy said you had one hand on the title. You only lost one game, and now it's like it's all gone. It's done. It's finished. So
hey, look, at the end of the day, we got to play our remaining 3 fixtures or 4 fixtures. We've got to win those games. There's a lot of teams around us that got to play each other. All we could do now is just try to pick up maximum points for the remaining games. It's as simple as that. It'd be awesome to play you guys in a quarterfinal. It'd be awesome because I think, you know, my boys, you know, they owe themselves a performance against you lot. But if that happens, that happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. All we can do is win the points that are at hand. That's all we can do right now.
I'm just going to read out some of the comments in the comment section because they're cracking me up. So Statman says, we win trophies every season. Simeon Dennis says, they didn't want it as much as we did. I always hear that in grassroots. They don't want it. They don't want it. Michael says, last week, hand on title. Now he's giving it over. Slams 0275 saying that 4-2 WRS had a goal disallowed for a very tight offside, and there were other chances. Axe is absolutely right. Only difference was JK took more of their chances. And then Simeon then goes on and says again, the vibe is different now after you took that L. So yeah.
I think the thing is, people call it the vibe is different. I'm just calling it how it is. You know, there was a lot of talk before the game, and the game was played, okay, and the game was won from JK Silvertown. If people want me to come on and say, oh, this happened, that happened, the offside flag and this and that, it's a load of bollocks. We're not that type of team. And our management ain't those types of guys. Okay, and I think Shorty knows that the way we are. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's probably not what the JK's fans want, but that's a fact, isn't it?
I respect that. I respect that massively. Massively respect that.
I appreciate that.
JK, Mr. Shorty.
Yo.
Anything more to add to that now? I mean, look.
No, I don't. I think, well, obviously, I've watched their footage. I think they made it out that they had more clear-cut chances than our footage. Only just come out today at 6 o'clock. I don't think. I thought the first half hour, I thought we dominated. I think after we went 1-0 up, I think we probably sat back a little bit, obviously, and then they created more chances. Our keeper did end up making a couple saves with his legs and that. But I thought, I felt comfortable. Even at half time, we said We knew the dangers. We had the 2 players up top. They were dangerous. But yeah, after this, they went to 1-1. We didn't drop our heads. We carried on going. Then we nicked the 3 goals in whatever, 7 minutes or something. I mean, after that, they were rattled. They were gone. If you showed a goal, I said they'd kill them off. And we literally scored. From my comment, we scored 20 seconds later. So, yeah.
What would you say the biggest goal was that you scored? Because I've got all 4 goals.
I think the second one, after we went 2-1 up, they were done. They were done. I think then they took centre and we nicked the ball, scored, and then pretty much the same thing again. They took centre, we nicked the ball, scored again. So I think after we went 2-1 up, they dropped their heads. They were all moaning at each other, and they were done after that.
Okay, I'm just going to roll through the third goal.
Goals, I think, ain't you? So,
yeah. I'm just going to roll through the third goal. In fact, I'll show the second and the third. Here we go.
Outside, Chris.
Nothing. All right, Tony, one. No shot. No shot. Be careful. Watch her go! Yes! Come on! Silvertown! Kill him, Wolfster! Kill him!
Shorty, was that you in the Spurs jacket?
Nah, you mad? I'll never wear that. Are you nuts? Never in a million years would I wear a Spurs jacket. Never.
It was the Spurs jacket sprinted across.
No, he was struggling to get Mirix. He was struggling to get across there, boy. You've got knee problems. All I
was hearing on the fourth one, especially, is like, kill them off.
Yeah, that was me. I'm like on the sidelines, isn't it? Like my buying vocal.
I think what the key thing that we picked up from that was a 9 minutes of pure capitulation from us as a whole team. I'm not going to sit here and just blame the defense. The whole team switched off. And in football, you just can't switch off. At the end of the day, well done, JK, come back into the game, and they took those chances, and we switched off. And that's a harsh lesson learned from our boys. You cannot do that. I've never seen them react like that, but it happened, and it's something which is important now for us to learn from and develop now. At the end of the day, I've seen it happen in other games. I've never seen it happen to my team, but it's happened. So I think, in one sense, for me as a coach, it's a blessing in disguise that's happened, because it's something that I could work on to improve the team. Yes, we're top of the table. Yes, we wanted to go out and win the title, but you have to continue developing as players. Their footballing ability on the mental side, and concentration, probably one of the key things in Sunday League that a lot of players lack, and our team lacked that for 9 minutes of the game. But what that shows is you have to have your head switched on for 90 minutes, okay, not 81 minutes. And well done, JK took their chances in that period. They saw that we switched off and they took advantage of that. So I think it's lessons learned. It's from a management point of view, it's really, really important that we work on improving that at the end of the day.
Yeah, Apple, anything to add?
No, not at all. Not at all. Listen, I expect you guys to do some very good goals. And look, all the talking makes for a really good spectacle, for, for everybody that wants to watch and everyone that comes in and obviously comes in ultimately and watches the program that brings you guys together. My last question, I'm going to leave you guys with it. If you do manage to play each other in that quarterfinal, would you say that your team now has all the motivation that they need to go on and win that quarterfinal?
Is that for JK or is that for myself?
I think
For you. That's for you.
They should do. They should do. They should have that motivation. They should have that hunger. They should have all of that to go out and win that quarterfinal. I can't say anything more than that. They should do. But I'm not the guy that gets stripped and gets on the pitch. All we can do is put them in their positions, give them their talk, get them to follow the instructions. But them boys need to do it. Them boys need to show it. I think there's a lot of onus that goes into management and this and that. But I said this in the first session that we had. The onus is on the boys to go out there and show how hungry they are to go out and win the game. So if losing 4-2 isn't enough motivation, then I don't know what more they need. It's as simple as that for me.
JK, and for you, would you say that potentially there's an element of pressure now that's on your guys when you do go and touch pitch in that final? Would you say there's an element of expectation because you've won those first 2 games against them? Would you say that now, you guys really have the pressure of going to win that game rather than trying not to lose it, so to speak?
No, I think obviously we'll obviously go there to win the game, but I think Marlon, the hunger will still be there like it was the previous game. But we know they're a good side. Obviously they played more games than everyone else, and now are top of the league. So we know they are a good side. But at this level, like they said, if you have a bad 5-10 minutes, you can get punished. So I'd have to make sure my job to make sure that they are on it for 90 minutes, and then obviously they have to be on the pitch.
How will you deal with the extra pressure?
I don't know what that. Sorry.
How will you deal with the extra pressure from winning those first 2 games?
It won't bother me personally. I don't think it would bother my lot either. To be fair, I don't think. Just turn up and play our game, innit? That's my view on it. Like.
Thank you very much.
There we go, gents. Thank you very much for coming on. I know this has meant to happen a while back, but again, we've got there in the end.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for having us.
I really appreciate it. And again, if you do manage to play each other in the quarterfinal, please let us know. I would like to be down there to see it in the flesh as well. And see.
I want a friendly against Takers as well. I want a friendly pre-season game. I know they beat Stars, innit? So I want to play them as well pre-season.
Behave. You can beat them.
You thought you want celebrity status, mate.
Pre-season, mate. Pre-season.
You can't be ducking a friendly. Come on.
Ejecting from the chat. Ejecting from the chat.
Pre-season, mate.
Ejecting from the chat. Don't ever say take it in the same sentence.
Where's Shay? Where's Shay?
Don't do that to yourself. Many have tried, everyone's failed.
Where's Shay? Where's Shay?
Many have tried, everyone's failed.
Thank you. And we'll see you guys soon. Bless.
Right, take care. Chill out, Rob.
See.
Good luck, guys. Yeah.
Bye. Oh dear, right.
The fraudacity of these people. Can you imagine trying to call out my takers? My big takers.
Listen, anyone can play you takers, man. Come on.
Listen, let me tell you something, Rootz. Let me tell you something, right? Just get takers off your tongue. Don't do it. Look, everyone wants to play takers at the minute. Just understand you have to get in line, take a ticket, and wait your turn. They are so far off of anywhere near our level. Leave it right there. Don't even mention us in them in the same league. Don't do it. Listen. We're up there with the Stars and the RBs and the SE Dons. That's where we live. Come on. You don't. You're little. Yeah, we're Harrods. Just.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Come on. Look here. Anyway.
Come on.
Let's have a chat, man. Because look, we've had all these guests on. Let's have a chat. I mean, look, it's been a lot been going on. I don't know about you. I mean, you're up for awards and stuff. I've been, filming and stuff, just being humble and that. And then you know what? I've even had a chance to, you know, get some light entertainment in. I'm not too sure if you've seen it at all. Like, have a look at this.
Oh my god! Oh my! I. Speechless.
Yeah, so I'm entertained, you know, just entertainment. What have you been up to?
Do you know what? I can't skip past what you just put on that TV screen because I've seen donkeys kick balls better than that. Because that's really something. I know why they call him the amateur footballer, but that is a big disrespect to the amateurs because that's really something. That's really, really something. Wow.
Oh
wow.
My days! I mean, look. Shout out to T.
What are you doing wrong to get called out by these man? These man that can't kick a ball. What are you doing wrong to get called out by these man? Because that's shambolic. I don't have words for what that is.
Look, if people don't know, I've been called out for a penalty shootout. Now let me take you through the full story because let me take you through the full story because people are jumping in at like, huh?
Did you see a shooting? Put your house on it. Put everything you can on it. Because I'm telling you now, that man, if it will even make contact with the ball, every one of those balls are going out for a throw-in. I'm telling you that right now. From the penalty spot, they're going out for a throw-in.
Oh, hold on. You not even see the best part. Hold on. Check this out. Hold on. Where is it? Here we go.
Oh my.
Oh!
Oh my
so
God.
Let me land. So let me add some context to this. Shout out to the average footballer, but it's not actually beef. So for anyone who actually thinks it's serious, it's not serious.
No, it's not that deep.
But again, I've been called out for a penalty shootout. Now, initially when we first spoke, it was an 11 versus 11. He could verify that. I can certainly verify that. Cool. That's what it was. Now, it wasn't going to be anything special. It's just friendly banter. And that was in October of this year. Now, we're in December 15th. 2, maybe 3 months later, whatever, we're now at a point where it's now a penalty shootout for charity. I don't know where this materialized from. I don't know if he can get a squad together. I don't know if he's got a decent following. Like, surely he can get 11 players from there. I think I can from my following. I'm hoping I can lean on some maybe takers players. I already got Danny Campion. Shout out Danny Campion from Barnes Eagle says he wants to play for me as well. So I think I can muster 11 players together to play against his team. But somehow we're now at a penalty shootout. Now, I don't fall for the whole bully boy tactics. You can't bully me into something that I don't want to do or never agree to. It doesn't work like that for me. It's not primary school. I'm not 12. I'm a grown man. If I don't want to do nothing, I will not do it. Like, you can call me out. You can make as many videos as you want. But the original thing was 11 versus 11. Now, I agree. It should be for charity. That would be good. Pick a charity. I've got charity. That would make sense. But the whole penalty shootout, you must do it. I called you out. I can't run with that. There you go.
Do you know what? Here's the funny thing, and this is what I find crazy. Is he a football coach?
That's a good question. That is a question. I don't know if he's a football coach. He definitely plays. He still plays now.
No, he doesn't. Don't say that. Don't say that. No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
He does play. He does. It's the amateur footballer.
Listen, let me tell you something, okay? Because that man has never kicked a ball a day in his life. I'm telling you that now.
That's it, bro. Nah, don't do it like that, man. Nah.
He's never kicked a ball a day in his life. That's clear, okay? That's very clear. Take the game. Whatever he offers, take it. and bet as much as you can. That's what I'm going to tell you now. Even more now, I've seen those penalties because was he a lefty as well?
Yeah.
My God, lefties are supposed to be talented. Listen, I don't know what happened. Lefties all over the place. Please don't kill me. But that guy has brought you guys down a few pegs. Okay, and you guys might have to go hunting for him because damn.
Shout out all the lefties, the real lefties. Giggs, Messi. I don't know. I run out of names, but the real left footers. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we're talking amateur level, grassroots level. But as I said again, look, the original plan was 11 versus 11 players. That I remember, even Rondo. I remember when I put the out on my stories, like who wants to play for me. Rondo replied back straight away. Said Rondo, I'll play. I was like, cool. Rondo, who's gonna play anyway? Do you know what I mean? Like it was around the time when I started doing combined 11s, and Rondo said, yeah, he's in. So I got Rondo in, Danny Campion in as well, and I'm sure I could find 9 more other players. If you can't find 9 other players, bro, that's on you. Don't try and bring me down and say, yo, you need to do penalty shootout because I don't need to do nothing. I don't need to. It's nice, but I don't need to. I said what I said. We agreed to it back in October. It's now December now. What's happened? I don't know what's happened.
I've got a theory. I've got a really interesting theory, and I'm going to write by you and everyone that's listening.
Yeah. Because
that video was so bad. Is it possible? And the more I think about it, and as it's coming out, it makes more sense to me. Maybe, just maybe, he's playing games. Maybe he's let that video leak to lure you into a false sense of security so we can start tucking top corner and show him, man, what that left foot really does. What you saying? Is that a possibility?
It could be. I mean, look, it's making all good content. Again, if he just wanted to be on Rootz TV, he could have just asked me. I would have put it up anyway. That's how I am. I'm a nice guy like that. If he just wanted to be on Rootz, cool. Just say so. Say, yo, Clint, can you put this on? I've shared this content before. I'll share it again. I'm like that. But again, you don't need to do the whole, I'm baiting him and all the rest of it. Bro, I've got things to today. Ask me what I did today, bro.
Brother, what did you get up to today?
First thing I did today, I watched you collect an award. Do you know what I mean? Virtually. So well done to you. Yeah, see, I threw that one back at you. I did that. Also, no, it wasn't the same. It was. And then also, I had one of my clips from the weekend just gone go on Sports Bible, a big account, Sport Bible. I was doing that. I was busy promoting the team that I filmed. Shout out Grenfell Athletic. Okay, everyone knows what happened with Grenfell. Shout out Grenfell Athletic. Again, they went on Sports Bible because when I seen it, he scored from a corner. I said, this needs to go viral. And again, my page can only do so much. I thought, you know what? Put it on a bigger page. And then again, you can see it on there. It's right on there now. You'll see Rootz TV in the corner. Boom. So that's what I was doing. Meanwhile, I was getting called out this morning and all the rest of it. I'm not that guy. Just leave me alone. I'm trying to do my thing. I'm not flipping going to go round for round, pound for pound. No, just leave me. Just leave me.
Not if he's got a left foot like that. Because listen, this might be the biggest insult to all lefties everywhere. He looked like he had 2 left feet. And he's I don't know. I'm just saying. So maybe he's playing possum. Maybe he's playing possum. I feel like that's what he's doing. He thought he'd throw out a couple of trash videos, entice you into some sort of 1v1. Then he's gonna turn up, open the tuck shop on you, and then try to bring Rootz TV down to the ground.
Listen, look, I've heard you say this speech before. Like, it's not about bringing our people down. It's about elevating. I've heard you say similar words before. So, yeah, there you go. So, there's no need for that. As I said before, if you just want to be on Rootz TV, you can ask. You have my number. You can WhatsApp me. You can DM me. It's not that hard. It's not an exclusive fan club. As long as it's good content. The content that you provided is good. But, again, it's been at your expense. So, don't be mad if I'm laughing because people are laughing with me as well. Now, again, I'll go back to the original statement. It was 11 versus 11. Your team, my team. I've got a manager. By the way, by saying the manager, I'm saying you, by the way, Apple. So you nodded your head. Yeah, you. The one in the box next to me, you. And then he gets a manager, and then we donate to charity, and everyone is a winner. We have a bit of banter on the sideline, so we can create content from that. Don't need to try and create content and badmouth me by doing that. Don't need to do that, bro. Come on. You don't need to do that. You don't. It's not that deep, bro.
Well, amateur footballer, you've heard it. Here we are. We're saying, lay down the gauntlet properly. Let's get your 11 versus Rootz's 11. Maybe there'll be a couple of surprises, but let's all do it for a good cause.
There we go. And you know what? There's even some teams that have offered their support in your favour. I think Sanderstead FC have said that they put some players together. I think maybe as well Sporting Continental might as well lend you some players. Hopefully, I'm still thankful with so grateful with some players from Takers, maybe some Rising Ballers in there, maybe some Barnes Eagles players in there. I don't know, man. I've been opposed to a lot of teams, so hopefully at least 11 can come through for me. I would hope so. If not, I might even have to. No, I'm not. No, I'm too old for that. I'll leave it to the real ballers. I ain't getting on no pitch. No way, bro. But anyway, any other business this is bit. So any other things you might have missed out? Obviously, you didn't play over the weekends, so hopefully the boys are okay. What's going on? Good?
Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's good. Yeah, I just, it is. Life is normal. Work. And, yeah, unfortunately, the game is this weekend. But the game is the game.
Yeah. The game is the game. Okay.
Just ask what you want to ask. Don't tiptoe. Just ask what you want to ask. Just say the words.
What do you mean? I said this is any other business, so is there anything? Bro, okay. Is there any... What's your game this weekend?
Supposed to be Highgate Albion.
Oi. Okay. All right. Okay. Highgate Albion. You scared?
Of who?
You said ask what I want to ask. I said you scared of Highgate Albion.
I feel so disrespected from that question. Just the wording of that question. Nah. You got to put respect to my name. I'm going to have to tell you to start calling me Apple again because this is mad.
Oh, no.
From you start asking me if I'm afraid of 11 men with 11 or 22 legs and 22 arms, just the same as ours. No way, no chance. Okay. Listen, I'm not sleeping on anyone, but please understand, I mean no disrespect when I say this. I don't give a flying fuck about anybody. Like, if we turn up and they're there, great. There's a good chance that they're not going to turn up and play. I already know this. Look, no one really wants to play us right now. There's been conversations in the week. They actually thought the game was at their place and they're making excuses about their pitch not being playable and only for them to find out it's our home game. So that's backfired quite terribly. We've heard that they've got quite a few players missing, more so because obviously the semi-pro season's restarted and all these teams that have got their semi-pro ringers, all their guys, they're playing 3 games a week now to catch up. So none of them can turn up to play. Now all of a sudden these invincible teams are no longer invincible. And it's a shame because I like to beat people when they're at their best, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, where are you guys left in the league now? Because obviously you didn't play against Rising Ballers, did you?
Well, it's not that we didn't play against Rising Ballers. The game was cancelled. Yeah, they cancelled the fixture.
Oh, okay. That's a shame because again, people would like to see that.
Yeah, they would like to see it, and it's unfortunate because I think we actually thought, right, this game was going to go ahead. We were very, very well prepared to play this Sunday. We got everything right in the lead up to the game. I think training was right on the money. The performances in training were really, really good. Look, I still look. We've still got a long way to go before we're going to be what I want us to be. But we had everything right this weekend. Well, for the weekend just gone, where everything was in place, and I think we would have seen a really good game of football more than anything. I think there were some nerves on their part. I think they were missing a few players. There's definitely some nerves on their part. I know Average Match was having conversations with certain people, asking if we were attacking, if we were defensive, what's our strength, what's our weakness, how are we doing what we're doing, what's the real thing, who's the danger players. And they couldn't give the information. They just said, look, takers are just unique. And that rattled him, and it probably didn't help with me in his DMs, on the timeline, you name it. I was getting at him as much as I could. And look, ultimately the pressure just proved too much, and he had to pull the Corona card. And it is what it is. Look, and the thing is, I respect it. I respect it, because I understand if you know that your hook of invincibility has already been rattled, you've lost, or you've won one game in your last 4. Now you're coming up against a team that you kind of gave the team talk 4, 6, 7 weeks ago. The smart thing to do is pull the Corona card, or do whatever you can to make sure that fixture doesn't get played. I respect it. I'm here for it. The fact that he done that shows more maturity than shows me he's got more maturity than I gave him credit for. And let the games begin. I'm here for it. Well done, man. Well done.
Wow. I'm saying man pulled the Corona card. That's
yeah, man.
That's a big statement to say, Apps. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you want me to show you some more screen snaps? Because I don't know. I'm just saying. I've got. Listen, some of their players are a little bit pissed off because they wanted to play the game. They knew certain men were missing, and they knew what was really going on. And when it was told to them about Corona being the reason why it was cancelled, they got head lost. They were like, "What? What are you talking about?" And I was like, But anyway, that's by the by. Look, like I said, eventually this game has to happen. It has to happen. So even if the season gets scrapped and cancelled, we still need to make this game happen. And I would say this is one that's probably we're going to need to go and hire a proper stadium and let people come and watch this game properly in a good facility on a good pitch where two very good football teams are going to go head to head. And look, ultimately, the best team on the day are going to win.
Yeah. Look, it's going to be a spectacle when it happens. Two of the best teams, not just in YouTube, but obviously in Sunday League football now. Rising Ballers, Takers FC. It's got to happen, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Two teams that I've followed immensely. So again, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, man. Look at the show that we've had. Like, it's just coming up to 2 hours now. DTFC versus Baresi, that was crazy. That was so many talking points from that alone. Probably could have gone on another hour with that. JK Silvertown and obviously Walthamstow Red Star. Again, Axe took some humble pie. JK Silvertown's going to win the league. Then we got some amateur football guy calling me out about some penalty shootout. Yeah, just crazy times. But you know what? I think it's past my bedtime, and yeah, I think you still got more food to eat as well. So,
listen, I'm stuck. Listen, I came straight from Milton Keynes. I was in the door for all of 3-4 minutes. Had to come in and kiss my babies, and then come straight online to see what I can only call a melee of madness for over an hour. But it was entertaining. It's been entertaining.
It has been entertaining, and again, thank you guys for watching and listening. If you're watching this back, please drop us all a like, follow, subscribe, and all of that jazz. And again, we'll see you guys next week for more Don't Apps Me. Trust me, it's going to be good.